And then like they ended up being like, okay, we need to fix this to sort of restore the natural balance of the park. And so they took 6 pairs of deer from Nara Park to Miyajima Island and like let them loose. And then now almost all of the deer on the island in Hiroshima are descendants of deer from Nara Park, whereas it used to be different. But the big difference between Nara and the Hiroshima Island is like Nara has like a history of an image of living together with the deer. That's kind of the thing here, right? That's how the city works. That's how like the history of the culture of the city works. Apart from that one time where that dude threw something at a deer, killed it, and then the judge was like, "It's a dog." Yeah, this is definitely a dog. This is a dog. It's not a deer. Don't worry. We don't have to kill you for killing the deer. That's not a deer. That's a dog. Apart from that one time, the living with the deer. Whereas in Hiroshima, like the island, the deer were always wild. From what we were reading today, it was just like part of the island. And like 11 years ago, they were like, "Look, we want the deer to be like just a natural, like wild part of the island." But now they're being so reliant on like getting food from people. Like they're like Nara Park, you can buy the deer crackers and you feed the deer, right? That sort of is a representative of the whole idea of living together with the deer in the city. Like the people and deer live together. You can feed them. Like they're not just wild creatures. They're like part of the city, like members of the city. Whereas the Hiroshima place was like, in Miyajima, they were like, "No, these are wild creatures. We want them to go back to being wild. We don't want them to just rely on people to feed them. So we're going to ban giving food." So when I was watching Bebo's stream yesterday, and he was like, "Yeah, no, you can't buy the crackers here," I was really confused, because I have a memory of buying crackers on the island to feed the deer. I was feeding the deer in both Nara and Miyajima. And when I was 16, it was still okay. They still had the feeding. But it was 11 years ago that they stopped. So it was a couple of years after I visited that they ended up stopping the feeding of the deer to try and focus to try and promote, sending them back to being more wild creatures rather than like pets or like dogs or like whatever like the Nara ones are like. Classic British. Alone in the dark with JJ. It wasn't too dark. This back camera is a bit brighter. It's actually kind of cool. Although the next street is this fucking mess. Look at that. The Deer Whisperer across islands. But yeah, apparently someone else was streaming on Twitch today in Nara. I forgot. Shit, I already forgot her name. But yeah, there's a girl in Nara Park today streaming, and I didn't know. I'm like, "Yo, come say hi." Shingo ga ao ni narimashita. Let's go left because it's a bit brighter. YouTube ちゃうから大丈夫。That's really, really funny. They're having like a drunken argument about like their mother-in-law or something, I think. And the guy's like, "What are you talking about? You're gonna end up on YouTube, like by some random foreigner." And I'm like, "Don't worry, it's not YouTube." Like they were like don't like. He's like, she's ranting and raving about like, I think it was a mother-in-law. I'm not sure. And like the guy's like, "Look, like stop ranting and raving. You're gonna end up on YouTube." And I'm like, "Don't worry, it's not YouTube." Noted. Ask for permission before going back to Nara. How many